Dating and pickup are things you would like to get better at, especially if you're in your 20s or early 30s. By strengthening these areas, you become a better man who comprehends the nature and dynamics of women, but more crucially, you see a better understanding of yourself. You begin to comprehend social dynamics, human motivations, and situational management. You start to comprehend how to interact with other people and what motivates them. These social skills are essential for young males. All of these factors are related if you wish to advance in social and professional contexts. You cannot first like the sound of the majority of the unvarnished truths you're going to hear. Social conditioning is largely to blame for this, but try to thoroughly comprehend what they mean before becoming upset. Even though you might not fully comprehend them at this time, store them in the back of your mind, because as you gain more life experiences, you'll be able to appreciate these unfiltered hard facts more. Furthermore, as the name implies, these are unfiltered truths. They have not been reduced to anything in any way to sound politically correct. Welcome back to Potent Logic, gentlemen. Provocative wisdom and guidance for every man. I can't stress this enough, but the first raw truth that every young man needs to understand is that the more attractive she is, the harder you have to be. Now don't misinterpret this, gentlemen. I don't intend to sound like that gym guy who doesn't have a chest but yet walks about with his chest bulging out when I say hard. Simply worded, don't be a simp. This doesn't mean you should be tough and start bullying people. It's simple to elevate a female who rates a 10 on your scale of attractiveness when you first meet her. You can easily fall into the simp trap since you're new to the game. You might begin referring to her as beautiful, the woman of your dreams, and other such ridiculous terms. The pedestal rises higher the more you do this. Keep in mind that if you treat a lady, especially one who's pretty, like a celebrity, you can only imagine how she will treat you. She'll treat you like a fan. As a fan, you already know it. Surprisingly, everyone I know who plays the dating and pickup game agrees on this. They have discovered that women are deliberately unaware of their beauty based on all of their experiences. Why do I say that? Well, when wearing cosmetics and other beauty products, every woman likes to believe that she's beautiful. She will, however, lose her mindset that I am too beautiful to communicate with this person the moment you treat her like any other regular female without letting her beauty affect how you treat her. You should treat her like any other girl and comprehend this as the initial naked truth. You have to work harder the more lovely she is. In the end, don't be a simp for any female, whether she rates as a 1 or a 10 on your scale of attractiveness. Don't let the beauty of a girl's complexion or her hardwired characteristics lead you to believe otherwise. The second raw truth is, ignore her words and concentrate on what she does. There would have been numerous occasions when a lady would have shown you indicators of choice and you would not have understood them. Right, most new players of the game experience this. When you suddenly realize that women were sending you choice cues, it may be around 2 years later. Looking back on past conversations, you can tell right away from how the lady was acting that she was interested in you as you begin to learn more about how women react. However, you were too much of a rookie at the moment to comprehend what she meant by saying to ignore her words and pay attention to her actions. Women frequently say things that could lead you to believe that they're not interested in you. She might even say that she doesn't like you. You might refer to this as a shit test. Hold your frame and gaze past that. By keeping your distance, you're not obligated to give the woman the work for her shit test. Keep that flirtatious vibe and profit from her behavior. Observe her gaze, the way she behaves around you and how she looks at you. These are the most reliable predictors of a girl's feelings for you, not her words, specifically in the case of cold pickups. The third raw truth is a significant one, particularly if you're in your late teens or early 20s. Then you must imprint this in your head like a man. Instead of pursuing women, try to attract them to you. According to a saying, chasing something indicates that it is eluding your attention. It's not you. Instead of being a chaser, you attract. But to attract, you need to have something to offer, something worth sharing. Everything in this life is a trade. Keep that in mind. Every person we meet, every acquaintance we make, and every connection we have in this world is a result of our desires or the desires of someone else. This also stands true. Women will approach you if you have something worthwhile to offer them, meaning that you will draw. Imagine if you're a magnet. Your magnetic pull is quite faint when you first start, but as you gradually develop a healthier body and mindset, you begin to cultivate yourself to seem attractive. You don't just fap off here and there. You hold yourself to a higher level and you smell lovely. Your magnet then begins to become stronger on its own. Why? You're getting more male as a result of strengthening the polarity. And the more masculine you are, the simpler it is to draw in the feminine. The fourth raw truth. Women who you previously approached and were turned down will become interested once they learn about your new partner. Young brothers, take note of this. Women are big on social proof. That is right. Women are big on social proof. Try to guess the gender distribution of Instagram users. By social evidence, I mean the amount of attention you receive from others, their opinions of you, and their behavior toward you. As soon as you start to make progress in these areas, women will naturally rate you as more beautiful. Think for a moment about a friend of yours who had a serious crush on a particular female but who was completely ignored by her. But 15 years later, that friend is now a well-known actor who makes a nice living and has followers. Do you believe that females would find him appealing at this point? Without a doubt, because he has social evidence right now. Social proof from his admirers as well as the other women in his surrounding environment. The fifth raw truth is, accept rejection. It will make you more strong. Keep in mind that not even the best pickup artist or most attractive man in the world would not have a 100% conversion rate with women. Everything is up to personal preference. In other words, even if you have improved as a man, not all women will find you appealing. Just get over it and don't cry about it. Concentrate on the people that do want you. One of the strongest male qualities you can have is the ability to go forward while remaining anchored. And one of the finest ways to do this is to be rejected by women. You will teach your thinking that rejection is not a huge deal after experiencing it. You did not perish or sustain any injuries. You only need to go past the mental obstacle. If you've done any psychological research, you know that our fear of rejection has its roots in the way our prehistoric ancestors lived. They inhabited tribes and groupings. Being rejected by your tribe would leave you all alone and dramatically lower your chances of surviving, because you currently need to put food on your lawn, self-defense against wild animals, etc. This is why rejection is a still fear that is programmed into our brains. But once you experience rejection, you begin to educate your mind to go past this restrictive idea. One of the best male attributes to master is mental toughness, which you need to develop. Sixth uncensored fact: avoid single mothers at all costs. I cannot emphasize this enough, brothers. All of the opinions that single mothers have about dating men are based on their prior relationships, and the majority of the time, they are terrible. She will bring all that negativity in your life if you join hers. If a single mother is reading this right now, I can already tell that this is triggering you, but pause and consider. Would you want a submissive woman to be with your son who hasn't had yet the chance to live? Would you want him to be in a relationship with a woman who has experienced mental trauma and is likely to expose your son to it as well? These kinds of women frequently approach young men like myself. The majority of guys who take this route begin to believe that because she is such a lovely woman, she deserves better. And perhaps she does. The old traumas of her life will ultimately resurface, so as you settle in with them, you see a completely new side. Not talking to single mothers doesn't imply that you should avoid them. These women do frequently require help, and by all means, assist them financially if God prompts you to do so, but don't commit to them sexually or start a relationship with them. The seventh raw truth is, when a woman rejects you, walk away. Men tend to complicate things in their life. It's practically impossible to make a mistake if a man adheres to all the right morals. You'd be so content with your life. One of the best ways to go wrong is to pursue a woman who's ignoring you while doing so. Take note of this. You should react just like she did. If she shows you any indications that she wants to choose, take advantage of that and up the ante. It almost seems as though you're rewarding or punishing her actions. The finest thing you can do as a man is to leave if she ignores you. Keep in mind that a man's greatest superpower is his ability to remain grounded, think clearly, and suppress his emotions. Men are not emotional beings like women. If she moves on, you should mirror her actions as I previously stated. The eighth raw truth is don't reveal your weakness to a woman. If you do get into a significant rut, get expert assistance. Read anything about Samson and Delilah? The tale is well known to all. The strongest person to ever walk the world was Samson. Why did he lose all of his hair when his secret was in his hair? By revealing his weaknesses secret. Women are there to share the high points of your life with, so keep that in mind. The males around you should be the ones you turn to for assistance if you're a young man, especially if you have a very serious weakness or require assistance. As men, the things you rely on in your relationships with women and the things you share with them ought to be separate from the things you share with other men. You would agree with this if you're already in a committed relationship, because every time you share a particularly dark secret or weakness with a woman, it's extremely likely that she would use that to abuse you or bring that up when you have a dispute in the future. If you need advice or assistance as a man, you should turn up to other guys in your life and God. The ninth uncensored fact is to be low tolerance and prepared to leave at any time. Don't ignore the warning signs, especially if you're trying to understand the female you're dating at the beginning of your relationship. If you have been raising your value as a man and developing yourself, the ladies you have drawn ought to be of the same caliber. Keep your standards of worth high at all times. This means that you shouldn't put up with her disrespect for you like a guy. Keep in mind that whatever you put up with today just gets worse later. Hold your girl as well as those around you to a high standard of value. The 10th raw truth is the last one. The advice to not be bitter applies more to you than to the girl. Accept the female nature and make adjustments. There are a lot of men who have taken the red pill or black pill who have such a terrible image of women. Just accept that women are biologically different from us men and play the game, keeping in mind that this kind of viewpoint influences you more than they do. It's only a game at the end of the day. Increase your social skills by talking to ladies. If you get rejected, take the lesson to heart and move on. And if God does bring a female into your life, then by all means, get married. But keep in mind these unfiltered truths. As always, brothers, hold yourself up to high standards and those around you. Thank you for watching today's video, and that's it for the 10 rawest dating truths that you need to know. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like button for the algorithm. Comment down below what content you would like to see next. As always, it has been a pleasure.